what would you listen to now? Is there anything that specifically you listen to now?
Whatever.
Check it all out and listen
Yeah,
to it all.
whatever was happening. Say, let me check this out if it's happening now. I got to do a session with Lady Gaga a few months back. That was, I said, well, hey, she was happening, and she played keyboards and she had her thing, and it was great.
And what was that like working with her as far as what?
She was very sweet, and it was cool.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean,
It's a wide variety, yeah.
Right, and I never imagined in all my days I'd work with Paul McCartney. I got to work with him,
Yeah.
and that was beautiful. And because I got to ask him a lot of questions about different people, Little Richard and everybody, and he would tell me these things, before they got famous, and
Yeah.
that, and he was a great musician and a great writer, and so. To be able to do that, I thought, Marvin Gaye, Barbra Streisand,
Quincy Jones.
so many people, yeah, Quincy Jones, and then I got to, that was first time I worked with Herbie Hancock. Later on I got to do some albums with him, but
Yeah.
we did a album, they call them albums, then they call them CDs now.
Yeah, yeah.
And Herbie was on there, Everything Must Change. It was a beautiful ballad and a couple other things. So it was just, I'm just still amazed.
What a wide variety. I mean, like you mentioned, Marvin Gaye and Barbra Streisand.
Right.
That's a span of diversity there of playing.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think what'd you take from Marvin Gaye?
For both is the feel for both of them. Listening to, I had played jazz and I had played a lot of standard music. So although this was disco for Barbra Streisand, but it was still the way that it would have to feel.
Right.
In order for her to feel comfortable.
Right.
Singing it,
Right.
And so I imagined how I would do this. One is this big.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know one is this big. You can play under it, in the middle of it, on top of it, on the side of it, anything, And I imagined how it would be because I loved her music playing. So I played, I hopefully felt that it was a different feel within inside the disco,
Right.
even though it was a simple disco music where Marvin Gaye was a little different. It was different, it was more R&B-ish. It wasn't quite disco at that time, the stuff that I did with him.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Like you mentioned Quincy Jones. Quincy also came from a very musical performance, and then got involved in producing, and has built this incredible, mega diversified, career as you have. What was it about the times then? Was it the challenges you had through your life that brought this out? Was it the music you listened to? What made this greatness? Because you have a greatness. That's why I call you King James.
It was a great God. It was a blessing. It was a gift. It had to be a blessing. For me to be able to play on all those records. I played on so many different people records that were successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I played on it, but it came from, it was a gift. It was God, the blessed to have that spirit to be able to have stuff going on, because a drummer has a lot to do with the records, and so it was, the grace of God. I'm sure that that's what it had to be, because a lot of times you just don't know it. For these things to happen like this, this stuff happened, and so I give it's the credit. It's all about him.
Is there any one session that you can think about that stands out? Is there any a moment of time that you felt was a change for you, that was like a moment that shifted you to know exactly where you were going? Was it anything musically that?
Well, I think about the 12 first recording sessions that I did, well, 6 of them, they couldn't use them, But I remember sitting in Motown one day and I said, man, I'm here and I'm relaxed and I'm in control of what I'm supposed to be able to do. And that I said, wow, man, thank you, Jesus. I had kind of, I guess you would say, arrived to a certain point. But then there was a time when I remember doing a song, Peaches and Herbie, called Reunited.
Absolutely.
One take, and a lot of times we do 3 or 4 takes or maybe more for a different song.
Yeah.
But that one take that day we did it, and I told the producer, I said, man, That's it. That's a hit record.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? I'm going to take your advice on it. And
And it was.
happened, right?
It
And
was.
another time, Cheryl Lynn, we did Got to Be Real. That was one take.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can feel them, you know, and sometimes, you know.
So those one take tunes, you know right away. You feel it. It's like everything's aligned in the right place.
Right, everything just happens.
Yeah.
It's a certain thing that happens. You know?
And how have you seen like the recording techniques change from how you recorded years ago to where you want
Well,
now?
now,
How
I
has
mean,
that changed?
it's changed a lot because a lot of times you might have to come in and they have a drum machine already programmed, and you might have to come in and play over that because they want to get a live feel. They want to, sometimes whoever programmed it might have been a little stiff.
Yeah.
So that is, you know, that can be a little tricky sometimes. You really got to have your mind because you're dealing with synchronization.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, when you're not dealing with that, you know, rhythm moves.
Yeah.
People don't know rhythm is not just like that. It moves. It's a spirit. That's why a lot of times, I mean, drums. I mean, people had drums. The Norsemen had drums in, you know, Norway, and the drums were very spiritual. The Indians used them to let you know if the enemy was coming.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very spiritual thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in order to get into that frame of mind, a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with something that you have to come in and replace that you didn't recreate or you wasn't there when everything else was done.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing that you got to, you know, psychologically, you got to get ready for it. I mean, I have to. I mean, because everything that I do is recording like that. I mean, I take it very seriously. It's like going into the studio, going into the ring like the heavyweight.
Absolutely.
You know, I take it very seriously. So for me, I have to get ready psychologically when I'm dealing with this in order to make it feel more natural, you know, coming from me.
So is there preparation that you do? Do you know, is there any routine that you go through before you sit down and play?
You just have to relax. You really got to, you know, when you're doing records dates, you got to relax. You know, and you can't say, well, you don't have to just take, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You got to be ready right then and there, you know, especially when you're dealing with that, because when people look at you like that, you know, you got to come up with a product. You know, this is going to be a hit record. So you're on the proving ground every time that happens.
So the pressure is still the same as far as getting there and producing a product that needs to be.
As far as I'm concerned, it is, because that's the way I take it. I mean, I take it. I'm serious about. I'm serious about it all the time. I don't want to deal with that negative.
Right.
So I try to stay positive and, you know, just do what.
Well, that's a powerful choice that you make, because that really is probably a very insightful understanding that you are in control of what you want to do.
Right.
You make the decision. And even though the outside influences can be pressure and intense, and as we always know, it's always crazy in the studio where you're trying to hear everybody and map out the best groove and play the best you can, you still stay at a certain level and keep yourself at a pace.
Right. And everything's got to mesh from you. I mean, everybody, you know, people play on one so differently. You know, if you're a percussionist, you know that everybody's not going to be right there. A lot, you know, the drummer, everybody's, you know, supposed to follow the drummer. But it doesn't happen like that all the time. You got to follow somebody sometimes. It's certain circumstances, you know. So you got to, you know, you got to be in control of yourself. Definitely. So.
Have you done any singing lately? You started out that way?
I'm working on a CD now, a record that, you know, after all these, and I should have done it 30 years ago. I'm finally writing some stuff and singing. You know, when I was with the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band, and I had a hit record out, it was taken from me in a way of speaking. I didn't enjoy it, you know, and so I didn't even want to sing. You know, this is before I started doing the studio work. I didn't even want to sing. I remember going to Motown, and the cat said, well, hey, man, we call you for the session, but man, you know, want to produce you. I said, man, I'm not interested in it. So it took me a while psychologically to get back to that. But I'm working on a record now. And then I sing when I do the you know, I work around, I sing then.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Young drummers now, and when they listen to the recordings that you're on and hear you play, there's always an incredible respect that they have when you play. And I've listened to many of my students when I put in recordings, and I say, I want you to hear and I want you to feel King James, I tell them. And we'll sit and we'll listen. And your groove is always, it always sounds like you're at peace with yourself. But yet, your life has been crazy with the challenges that you have had, but yet you've always maintained this incredible way of performing that has been admirable, which is not the easiest thing to do, to maintain that level of professionalism and accuracy and performance. It really is incredible.
Well, it's just that I try to throw all that out the window when I go in to record, because music is my life. It's been so beautiful to me, and it's so beautiful to be a musician, to be within the beauty of us making music, So when I go in, all that's gone. Thank God that I'm here and ask Him to make us great today. I just, think about what's going on, what we're gonna do with this record. How we're gonna do, and that's what you have to do when you go in the studio to make a record. You can't have that, should be on your mind.
Absolutely. What would you say in closing, James? What would you say to the next generation? What would you say to the next generation and the next generation as far as what they can do to learn from you, to hear from you, and to feel?
I think drummers should know more than just the drums. I think the drummer should learn piano. I think they really should learn so they can know about, the piano to me is the base of all the music, because it has a percussion thing about it as well as a melodic.
Absolutely.
And I think that, we should learn, drummers should learn piano and voice, so that you can understand what's really going on a lot of times when you're making a piece of music. So it's not just coming from the percussive standpoint. You need to come from all the other standpoints that you can come from, because it's all about the feel.
That full musical standpoint.
So I think so.
And still listening to music and still taking everything in.
I still love it, man. I love, and the new cats. Everybody don't like everything, but I'm just so I check out everybody and enjoy them. The ones that the ones that I like, and everybody ain't gonna like everybody, but there's so much out there that is so great that so I'm really enjoying.
That is great, man. Well, your spirit and your philosophy and your just outlook on life is inspiring. To have King James here, man, I'm
just glad that drummers are still playing, because we have these drum machines and everything, but I think we're starting to whoop them again.
Absolutely. We're getting back to acoustic playing and the feel of really being able to lay a groove down and have that natural sound.
Right. If you listen to an acoustic record compared to and it's
synthesized.
Right. Certain years, the sounds change and everything. You can tell it's dated, but what we do, you can feel it, the breathing presence, and that music makes you relax or whatever. It gives you certain insight to everything. So I'm glad that it's starting to. People are looking at it again, because they were looking the other way. All of it is good, and we can still use it all together. But we need to keep the humanistic quality in the music.
As long as people listen to music, they're going to hear your humanity on all the recordings that you have done, and that's helping to change the world for a better place. I thank you so much, James Gadson, King James. On behalf of the sessions, we are so thankful to have all of you join us and be a part of hearing these incredible stories that really are stories of inspiration and longevity with your career, of what you've done.
I've been blessed. I have truly been blessed.
Well, we are blessed because you've been blessed. We are blessed. So I thank you so much on behalf of the sessions. Good luck. We'll see you someplace around. Enjoy, listen, and check out King James. You're going to hear some more excitement on some more recordings. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Thanks. Bye-bye, guys.